So in this video, I want to just do a quick take on whether in these lawyers' states, would it be possible for a board to pass a rule, and is it a good idea? Hello, and thanks for joining us on this HOA Leader video chat with two of our experts. My name is Gabriella Falisco. Today, I'm joined by Jennifer Boletnikoff of Florida and Todd Skowronski of Michigan. And this month, we're talking about best practices when dissenters are bashing your board on social media. And the question arises in response to a reader's question, which was the reader started by saying that there's a small but vocal group of residents who use the community Facebook page to consistently bash the board and post inaccurate or incomplete information. And the board's response has consistently said, hey, we don't conduct business on Facebook. And other residents have told the board they don't want to jump in, even though they support the board, because they feel bullied when they do. So the dissenters want to video record meetings, and the reader lives in a one-party consent state, but the management company and the lawyer, HOA lawyer, advised the board to institute a rule banning recording of the meetings, and the board has done that. Now the dissenters are publicly saying they're ridiculing the board on the community Facebook group, and they're questioning its ethics. So in this video, I want to just do a quick take on whether in these lawyers' states, would it be possible for a board to pass a rule, and is it a good idea? And then in our second video, Jennifer and Todd will discuss best practices, tactics for trying to deprive dissenters of oxygen. So just a note, these experts are providing insights based on the laws and practices in their state. This is intended to provide you with food for thought that you can use when you approach a lawyer or a manager in your state. So let's jump in. So Jennifer, in Florida, would it be permissible for a board to pass a rule saying no recording of the meetings without our written consent?
In Florida, the statutes say both for homeowners associations and condos that an owner may record meetings. Now, you can adopt reasonable rules regarding the recordings. So you can say things like you have to be stationary in one place, that you need to provide advance written notice to the board that you are going to be recording. And so what we deal with is a lot of boards that will adopt rules that say, yes, you can record the meetings, but you shouldn't upload them on YouTube for public use and things like that, to try to control how far owners can go with distributing or using those video recordings to further, their bashing against the board, to try to control some of those situations.
Briefly, you said you shouldn't upload these. Can a board say you cannot upload these?
Can you? I mean, every day when I answer questions, as a lawyer, when people ask me, can you or should you? I mean, yes, absolutely. They can say that you're allowed to record these for your use. They shouldn't be uploaded on YouTube, or they cannot be uploaded on YouTube. The difficulty on the other stand of that is what happens when they do, and how far would a board go to enforce that type of rule?
Okay. Todd, what's Michigan's take on this?
So Michigan has a different take. There is no statute that allows, that expressly addresses this issue about recording HOA board meetings. In fact, in Michigan, there's no owner entitlement to even attend a board meeting. It's purely at the grace of the board if they want to open up their meetings to owners. So in this scenario, if this was happening in Michigan, as I said, the board doesn't even have to allow owners in the meetings. And B, in Michigan as well, and I'm sure this is common practice, the meetings are conducted pursuant to Robert's Rules of Order. And so I often take the position that as part of Robert's rules, the chairperson of the board sets the ground rules for the conduct of the meeting. And so it wouldn't even necessarily have to be a formal written rule. You could pass a rule if you have that rule-making authority in your governing documents. But even just more as to the conduct of the meeting, the chairperson, typically the board president or whoever's conducting the meeting, can just make a rule, we're not going to record this. And then stick by that. I've in fact attended meetings where an owner wants to record the meeting, ultimately shut them down with that, saying that there is going to be no recording of this meeting pursuant to the rules of conduct. And then you have the problem is, as Jennifer mentioned, you have to follow through with that. So if the person's going to be disruptive, you have to be willing to put your foot down and say, we're not going to proceed with this meeting, but up to the level of even potentially threatening to kick them out. So it really depends. That's a pretty extreme situation, but you get these dissenters who the point of recording is sort of to weaponize that video in the future. And so in Michigan, HOAs have a lot of tools in their pocket to combat that.
Interesting. All right. Well, thanks for your quick takes, and listeners, thanks for joining us. We hope you'll join us again next month.